And yeah, look, this guy just has an enormous force. He has 109 food count compared to our 72 and 67. So I think it's about even, a little, actually a little bit higher on their part because this guy only has 49. So yeah, that's exactly what TikTok is doing right now, what I was just talking about. He's moving around here, so we will be able to march up. I think I was actually waiting for some more zealots to make sure that we can take this force. So it looks like the battle is about to be approaching right now. My immortals are coming up. I'm making sure I'm getting those in, and the zerglings are coming around, getting in good position, trying to get my zealots and making sure they do not get cut off. These sentries are doing a great job. Force fields are going down. My immortals are trying to lay waste to these sentries. This guy and these stalkers, this guy has done a good job of cutting off those lings, but my zealots and immortals are doing lots of damage to these stalkers, but Ninja just has too many forces for us to deal with, and he's doing a great job separating our armies despite our best efforts. I think he just had too much for us to deal with right now. All these weak zealots, they were just able to barely inch out of this attack because Ninja has just done such a great job of getting these units. Ninja right now upgrading legs. So yeah, like I said, I guess in this point, Zealots without legs pretty much did just serve like a meat shield, kind of what I was saying before. TikTok feeling like he might be able to turn the tide of the battle right here, so he's pumping out some more lings, trying to see if he can maybe pick them off, maybe even get us back into this fight. But it looks like that is just too much right now for him to deal with. Zerglings are very hard pressed against Zealots, and especially that amount of Zealots and that force. So right here I have my proxy pylon, and this Stalker is going to go down to these Zealots. GG Stalker. I like to build my proxy pylons in a place where I can warp them in a cliff or warp them down here. Sometimes you'll see me, I'll warp in proxy pylons actually right around here. If you warp in a proxy pylon, you actually have a warp field into the base, so sometimes I like to do a two-prong attack like that. And so this guy here, we are trying to attack again with some basic units, but we think that we might be able to take him down, but those force fields again are doing a good job here separating out my zealots, while this force is just being able to take them down. This Colossus doing tons of damage to our light armored units. Purple has definitely done a good job with his tech here. He decided that he probably won't stand a chance if he's going to try to match our infantry, so he does go for attack, and he's getting out these Colossus right now. Let's look at his economy right now. Yeah, it looks like he has even more probes than I do at this point. I've just got my expansion down, and so is he. His is even a little more saturated than mine. So my observer is coming in to see exactly what they're doing, because I think we are a little surprised at this point that they're able to hold off so well. So we see some Mutalisks from TikTok. They aren't really that Stalker heavy at the moment, but they are still Sentry heavy. So they do have pretty good anti-air, but if we can micro around and get these Colossi down with air, that would definitely be good too. Immortal range is really short, so these guys can use their force fields enough to block off our Immortal Fire on these Colossus, despite them being armored and despite them being very vulnerable to Immortal Fire. These guys still have a pretty good force right now. I think they are probably at an advantage because we do not have that much. What I would have suggested for me to do here is set out a probe. Oh, actually, I do have my observer here, so I know exactly what they're doing. If they did decide to march across the field, I probably would have started warping in more units, maybe getting some defense just in case, wouldn't be able to hold it off. But yeah, right now we see the response to the Colossus. Lots of people get Corruptors, but since they are really anti-air heavy, this Broodlord range will really play in our favor. Broodlords are great against Colossus, and they can be really good against Stalkers too if you don't have a lot. These guys don't have Blink upgrade, and he's not researching them right now either, so these Broodlords are definitely going to play into our favor very well. Me, on the other hand, I'm still pumping out Immortals, and I'm upgrading my attack. Let's take a look at my resources right now. Yeah, I'm doing a good job spending. If you guys do see yourself getting a lot of resources and not knowing what to do with them, throw down some forges, throw down some upgrades, so at least you're spending your money, because you do not want to be sitting around with a lot of money. So this guy had about 1,200 minerals, and that's definitely not a good place to be right now, especially when he's in such a crunch. So this guy still has a huge force. He's pretty close to max, 168 food count for Ninja right here. And we definitely do not have that to match. It looks like I'm sitting at 87. TikTok is at 99. And Tazaro right now is pretty matched with us. So we are kind of in trouble right here. We're going to see that they're coming out soon. I'm not sure whose proxy pylon that is. Looks like I laid down 2 because I thought this one was going to go down. And Ninja laying down his proxy pylon. We decide that going through this area again wouldn't be good. So coming around here gives us a little bit more space. You see, this is a wider length to deal with. We don't have to deal with this uphill. It'll be level ground. And my proxy pylon is right here as well. And we also will have that Xel'Naga watchtower, so we will see them approaching. So right now it looks like the battle is about to ensue. We have tons of Immortals. These Immortals are just taking down the Stalkers. Colossus are ripping through those Zerglings. It looks like the Broodlords are doing a good job laying down fire on these guys. Colossus is still in the back here. It looks like my Immortals are still holding through these force fields going down. All these Stalkers are dying. All of those Stalkers are down to that Immortal fire. I still have tons of Immortals left after that. Those Broodlords were just taking so much. We're just able to free fire on those Zealots, and they left my Immortals pretty free to do whatever I wanted to those Stalkers. I am actually really surprised that we were able to take that. I think we just had the right unit composition, and I think that to scouting, but these guys definitely had us outmassed and a little bit out macro too. But between our Broodlords and our Immortals, we were just able to take them out. So that firsthand shows you the importance of scouting and unit counter, because we were definitely a little bit outplayed there. But we did have the right composition for us to deal with this. At this point, it looks like these guys are going to go, yeah, this guy just left right now, and this game has come to us. So hopefully this was informative for you guys. You could see how important it is to scout out your opponents and see what they are getting so that you can counter them. You know, as Protoss, there really isn't much you can do against Immortals except for maybe Void Rays, or also Immortals with whatever you had. I think that's where these guys fell short. They went Colossus because they assumed that we would have a lot of light units. That's not a bad assumption. Zerg usually go Hydras late in the game, but these Broodlords were definitely in our favor. These guys did very little scouting. They didn't see it coming. If he did see it coming, Void Rays would have been a great counter to both these Immortals and Broodlords. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is it for this replay, and I'll be posting up some more soon, so stay tuned for more MazeEsports.